Okay, so we're just going to make off a UK plug top or safety plug. I'm just removing the screw there that retains the top cover here, and then I'm going to remove the cable strain relief. The blue cable here I'm using is a 2.5mm squared 3-core flex. It's Arctic grade. There are two colours of Arctic grade flex, blue for 220 to 240 volt and yellow for 110 volt. But because this is it's going to be a plug top connection, I am using the blue 220 volt. So I've measured roughly down about 1.5 inches from the end and scored round with a Stanley knife, making sure I didn't cut into the insulation below. I'm offering up the wires, the inner core, to trim to length. So blue being on the left there, the green and yellow to the middle, and the brown to the right. A good rule of thumb, blue, the second letter is L to the left, brown, the second letter is R to the right. So it's a silly way of remembering it if you want. So just trimming back a few millimeters from the end of the wire to expose the center core. Again, carefully to not remove any of those cores. If you also note, I'm not twisting the cores together. This creates a slightly larger diameter, and then when you screw it down, this compresses and doesn't hold tight. So now that's held nice and tight in there. And I'm starting with the earth, which is the easiest one to do for me, and then I'll do the live next, and then I'll actually remove the pin for the neutral. With all three pins, I can remove them, so it can be done outside. If I get the length of the wires correct, I can do it outside the plug top and then insert them back in. So one of the safety features of the plug is that, if you notice there, that the live is the shortest wire there, then it's neutral, and then it's the earth. So that if the cable strain relief was to fail, if anyone was to pull on the cable and the plug was still plugged in and switched on, if they were to pull on it and the cable strain relief was to fail, then the live would be the first wire that breaks away from the plug, rendering the apparatus or device without power. So on the right hand side where the live is connected, you've got a fuse. You've got a 1-inch fuse. This is a 13 amp, quite common for extension leads, 13 amp, but you can get lower rated fuses for a smaller diameter cable, but for 2.5, 13 amp is standard. Also allows you to go smaller on the plug that's going to be plugged into the extension lead. So the other sizes you would find commonly for a plug top is 3 amp, which will be a red fuse, and then 5 and 10 amp, which will both be black. So I'm just doing the strain relief up now. If you notice from when I took it off, I've flipped it upside down so that there's a slightly some standoffs on there that have allowed me to get nice good tension on that. And then we're just putting the lid back on now.